good, everybody? So, my good friend Amethyst Abrams has made a pretty, I want to say, a serious toned video, and we've kind of seen a number of these pop up throughout the weeks recently, but here we have one called The Dying and Divided State of Gacha Gaming, which is pretty interesting. I want to do like a head count right now. Type 1 if you think Gacha right now is dying and divided, and type 2 if you think that isn't the case. I feel this is a very interesting topic to come up against. 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 2. I feel it's really difficult because I think a lot of people want to say 1, but then we see games like Uma Musume, and it's kind of united almost the world in Gacha in some way and made new communities. So is it really a problem with Gacha dying, or is it really just a problem with this very specific niche that we're living in right now on our little corner of the internet on YouTube, right? And this global side for where we all kind of exist. So I think it's pretty interesting. Have that juxtaposition of somehow people think Gacha is dying, yet at the same time we're seeing insane, unprecedented, explosive growth of other Gacha games. So yeah, how about we take the time to watch this video and see what he has to say.
Hello there, my fellow flames. Welcome back to another video. My name...
Bro has the voice of a god. It's actually crazy. Just before I start, yeah, you guys just might be distracted looking at him for too long. That is also very true. I mean, look at him. Like, goddamn.
Is Amethyst, and today I want to discuss a more serious topic regarding the gacha space as a whole, and that is the fact that I personally believe that the gacha space is divided and isn't as interconnected as it used to be. Now, I know other people within the gacha space that feel the same way, other people that are within the gacha community, and other content creators that are also within the gacha space feel very similarly, have expressed their thoughts and feelings about this.
I think a lot of people, a lot of other creators, it's not necessarily that they're tired of like being interconnected in the gacha community. It's more or less a lot of them are just kind of tired of just focusing on gacha games. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people kind of wanted to break away and break out and cover things that interest them, and then gacha, just for them, they don't want to spend all their waking time on it all the time. I think that's what it is. I think it's a mix of that's really making people feel. We've seen so many creators kind of break away from gacha. For example, Tectone, he's massively broken away from gacha. Brax is saying that he wants to kind of break away and do more things that interest him. My good friend Atoma, he left making gacha content to do other things. There's so many people who are trying to break out and leave and do other things. We saw Mujin is another great example of he kind of left that behind too. It's, you know, it's a thing on everyone's minds. They don't want to just do gacha content for their like whole professional creative careers, and I think it's made other people that are still left in the gacha space be like, damn, is this what I want to do? I think it's made a lot of people think about what it is they want to do in the terms of like content.
I am now going to give my thoughts and feelings as to why I believe this is the case. So if you enjoy what I have to say and enjoy this video, hit that like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Without further ado, let's get into this. So, do I believe the gacha space is divided? Yes. Do I believe it's as interconnected as it used to be? No. And these are the reasons as to why I believe that is.
I don't think it's divided. I just don't think people care as much, perhaps.
Number 1. Now this is going to be one that a lot of people disagree with me with, but I believe this is going to be one of the main reasons why this is the case. We all know Tectone. We all know who Tectone is. There was
Big Bold Man mentioned
Tectone was holding weekly gacha casts, or at least every other week. It was very regular. He was getting a lot of gacha content creators within every single community of different gacha games. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, and Zone Zero, other gacha games as well. He would bring them onto his channel, bring them onto the gacha cast, and they would give constructive criticism and talk about what they love, what they don't love, what they want to improve about their games. That hasn't happened in quite some time.
So basically, it's all Tectone's fault. How dare he leave? It's all his fault. That's the conclusion, right? Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's all his fault. Tectone equals bad. No, he's not making gacha casts. That's it. Gacha content dead, buried, gone, poof. No, that's a joke, by the way. I don't actually believe that.
Now, Tectone is doing his own thing. He's not only covering Gacha anymore. I remember when he used to be called the Gacha guy. Now, some people still refer to him as the Gacha guy, but he's doing multiple different things now, multiple different things outside of Gacha, and he's doing really well for himself. I've been paying attention to his content. I've been paying attention to his fitness. I've been paying attention to what he's been doing. He's been crushing it. And though I'm just a little fish in a huge pond, it's good to see, because I've been a fan of Tectone for what, 5, maybe 6 years now, and I'm very grateful to him for what he's done, because he's actually been one of the people that inspired me to make content, and believe it.
Likewise, very much so. Very much so. He was honestly like the main reason I kept making content. Yeah, 100%. I remember I was already talking, and like I was playing some games and stuff with like him and Shinya before I made content, and then I made one video, and then he said to me, hey, this is great, keep making more. And then I uploaded like twice a day for ages. Like he definitely has motivated so many like other gacha creators to keep making content, and that's very cool. That's very cool.
Or not, his content actually saved my life.
Aww.
There's reasons to this. I'm not going to go into reasons to why his content saved my life, but I have a dark past, and if it wasn't for content creators like Tectone, I might not be here today. But I digress. Also, there's been lots of drama this year alone within the gacha space. There's been the Tectone versus Mr. Pokey. Mr. Pokey was rage baiting the entire gacha.
There's been a lot. There was a lot. If you really think about it, there's been a lot that's happened in the last year in terms of like drama between everyone. Yeah, that's true.
Community on Twitter for a long period of time. People were arguing, people were bickering, people were falling out with each other. Sentontas versus Mr. Pokey.
I think it's like Saint Totus versus like almost everyone. I think that's kind of how that felt as well. Legit thought 2025 will be better. There's just it's just how it's been, right? It's been the climate. There was definitely a period, I think, like in like January, February, maybe December, that was kind of like hectic, but there was a lot. Mr. Pokey versus Tectone, Ryuku Sensei versus God knows how many other people, because I remember there was a time where people were just bickering for no reason within the gacha space. I don't know the reasons why. I don't really care the reasons why. The point is, it got to a point where, in my opinion, it was becoming more about drama between gacha content creators than about the gacha games themselves. This is just my opinion. Now, people can disagree with this, but based on what I'm seeing from the outside looking in, that's one of the main reasons why I believe the gacha space feels more divided. There's been a lot more drama. I feel this is a thought that's echoed around amongst people, you know, that the drama has made communities feel more divided, therefore everything feels less interconnected than what it used to be. I don't know how I fully feel about that statement personally, right? I don't know how I feel about it personally, but I have this weird thing of, I don't think we should be putting like one or two creators as like, these people are now wholly responsible for how the entirety of a niche of gaming should feel, right? I don't think that's correct. And I don't think that's the right way to look at it. For example, I don't think we should look to Tectone or even like Saint Tontus and be like, this is the kind of content that these people are making, whatever it may be, whether you like it or you disagree with it and you don't like it. I don't think it's healthy for us to see them and be like, oh, so that's how the entirety of this genre is, or how this is how everyone should feel. Because let's be real, most people who play gacha games or watch gacha content don't watch like Tectone or Saint or whoever else is being referred to, Mr. Pokey, whoever else is being referred to like in this kind of thing. People will watch who they want to watch, and I feel like for me, all kinds of content can exist. You could have the people that maybe talk about drama and things happening between creators, but you can also have people who make content just about the gameplay and everything else. And you are free to watch whatever you like. Just because one kind of content exists doesn't mean other kinds of content can't. And people who want that sorts of content, there's always going to be an audience for whatever is available, right? There's always going to be content to fill whatever you sort of wish. I don't think it's this thing of, oh, like the space is dying because of drama. I don't know if I fully believe in that statement. I definitely understand that the people and the audience who watch creators like Techie or like Shane or like Mr. Pokey or whatever it is will have been too exposed to that kind of content, right? And maybe something they may or may not have come to expect. But that audience isn't the whole of the gacha space. There are so many people who watch content who don't engage with that kind of stuff, who are looking for other types of gameplay, for opinions on banners, for tutorials, for guides, for people doing polls. Those sorts of videos always, you know, do well in the space too. And we have to realize that the gacha space is so much more than that. And you are welcome to watch any of that content as you wish, and that content will always be available for you.
Drama and a lot more tension between gacha content creators. Now, other content creators like Captain Cabinetz has also been trying to put together gacha casts, and she's actually been trying her best to collab with a lot more CCs, which is really nice to see. She's a great...
Oh, my heart. Yo, what? Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, that's so nice of him. Bro, Amethyst is one of my favorite homies. I appreciate that's so nice. Oh, thank you, Amethyst. Thank you.
Great person, great content creator. I can see her going far within the space. She's
Holy Glaze! Get off my dick, bro. Your writing is so hard. Jeez. I'm kidding. Thank you.
Good friend of mine, and I'm glad she's doing really, really well and trying to bring the gacha community together when Tectone at the moment isn't doing that. Now, that's not...
This is... I feel like I have difficult feelings about this. Okay, I have difficult feelings. It's like, I do think Tectone was responsible for helping a lot of people break into gacha and like kind of make it a thing that they could call a career and help, right? But at the same time, I don't think like people can like give you opportunities. I feel like Techie could give people opportunities, but unless those creators take the opportunity and then follow up with it themselves and actually be consistent and continue to make good content, then it kind of works out, right? But I think like the gacha cast and stuff, he helped a lot, and he did bring like people together. Gacha casts are often like talking points that people might have brought up after time, and I think it's people like hearing discussions. People like hearing discussions and creators getting together and talk about stuff. And I feel like I've always had this opinion of like I'd love that too. Since like for the longest time, I've always tried to like talk to as many creators as possible, because I think it's better that we all know each other and get along. Obviously, not everyone is going to get along, and that's okay. It's human nature. Not everyone has to be friends with everybody. But I try my best to like talk to as many people as possible and bring as many people like together as I can, because I think it's better than watching from a distance. Because in my opinion, everyone, like when one person succeeds in the gacha space, I feel like everybody succeeds, because it's a win for gacha as a whole. It's bringing in new audience and new people that might go watch other things. So I feel like everyone's individual success is also a collective success at the same time, because it's a win for gacha and it's a win for the niche. So that's how I personally feel about it. So that's why I just like people doing stuff together, because I think that's... Why not? There's so much crossover with so many communities. I think the people like it. I think people like it when creators actually get along. I think it's a positive thing. So I would like there to see like more people doing shit together, because I think it's just nice.
Not me throwing digs or shade at Tectone, he's just doing other things. You know, he can do whatever he wants. He's kind of outgrown gacha. He still plays gacha games and talks about what he likes and dislikes about certain gacha games, but he's doing his own thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I love the guy, and I've spoken to the guy. He's great. other content creators like Styx always regularly bring.
Styx is another example of a creator that, yeah, definitely does a lot for other creators too, like massively. So big shout out to Styx.
Gacha communities together and Gacha CCs together to talk about Gacha games, all kinds
He's
of Gacha
always
games.
so down to offer to help creators too. Like, very good guy.
ZZZ. He talks about multiple other Gacha games, and it's great to see him bring other content creators. He's even brought me on his Gacha cast before, on his podcast before, talking about Gacha games. So there are content creators doing it, but there's just not people doing it that are as big and influential, unfortunately, as Tectone. Another reason why I believe,
and I don't think there will be. It's just a matter of numbers. It literally is a matter of numbers. There is no one that was on Techie's sort of scale that did content like that. So I don't think there will be. And that, do you know what? That's okay, because I feel to have one person be the sole reason a niche survives or dies isn't healthy. To me, that's a sign of a niche that is unhealthy. So the fact that more creators can come into the space and fill a void or a gap that might have been left by Techie, for example, not making as much content, is actually particularly good for the space. Having more people come into the scene, feel like they want to make some content, whatever it is, I feel overall will be better for the overall health of Gacha space in general. More people coming in, making more different kinds of content, bringing in new audiences that will come and consume that kind of content. I think actually people will find over time that that will become like more popular, you know? So it's left this vacuum of content that now needs to be filled. And I think it's up to creators to decide what that will be filled with.
The Gacha space is divided, and why I believe it's not as interconnected as it used to be. Gacha tribalism. It has become some of the most toxic it's ever been. Over the past year to year and a half, I would say
it's always been toxic.
Gacha tribalism has become so incredibly toxic that you cannot give any constructive criticism.
Do you know what I think? Sorry, I keep pausing a lot, but there's just so many more Gacha games now. It used to be like Genshin and a couple of other big ones. Obviously, there's always been, if we talk about JP, there's a ton of Gacha games, but in like global, in the English speaking like community, it's only been recently that we're seeing way more Gacha games. That means a lot more niche of communities that might fight against each other too, right? So that's also a thing to keep in mind. There's just a lot more games to like shit on. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Techie knew about your reach from a while ago. What are we talking about? Oh, this.
Is doing a great job of trying to become the new me. I think she's probably emulating me the most out of any content creator, and I'm very proud of her. She stole my podcast, she stole my React format, she stole my retards. But that's it.
Yeah, I stole the retards. My bad. Hi, retards. I love my retards. Hello.
To any game, because it causes arguments, it causes divide, it causes just drama for no reason. Wuthering Waves now, one of the most humbling Gacha communities, has become very toxic as well. Now, when I say it's become toxic, I'm not referring to everyone, but there is an aspect of the Wuthering Waves community that is becoming very, very toxic.
I can kind of not attest to this, but I literally made like a couple videos a few days ago of me being like, oh, is 2.5 disappointing or is it filler? Just like asking questions in my thumbnail, and in the video I'm like, oh, I'm looking forward to 2.5, the stories would be cool, I don't think it's filler, but whatever. And all the comments are like, oh my god, you're so dumb, you think it's filler, oh my god, you being so negative is like so bad. It's like there's just a lot of people that are so willing to like, it kind of feels very Genshin-esque, Genshin community-esque, and it's like I'm just kind of ignored it now. But like, you get this in any Gacha community eventually. The game is popular enough for long enough. You'll get this sort of behavior in all of these communities, unfortunately. So I think if you, as a creator, you don't want to see that or don't happen in your community, the only option to not make that be the case is just to showcase and play a lot of different Gacha games. So therefore, your audience knows that, hey, this isn't the only thing that I play other things too. Right? And that's okay. It's okay to play other games. Isn't that surprising? Wow. You can play other games. It's so good. It's not a problem.
The point where you cannot say a single thing bad about the game because they will jump on the bandwagon and suck the game off to so much that if you say anything bad about the game, not even anything bad, something that they need to desperately improve on, they will come after you with pitchforks, spears, weaponry.
Actually, it's a really, really good thing, and you're wrong, so I think you're just a bit of a moron. I just happen to know someone that plays 15 gachas. Maybe ask your takes. Yeah, you could still be a quote-unquote god of gacha, but still have the worst takes imaginable. That is true.
Torches. Now that sounds like to me how Genshin Impact used to be. And it sounds like to me how HSR's community grew to be. Now, I love Honkai Star Rail. I used to very much play that game all the time. I used to play Genshin Impact when the game came out. I play Wuthering Waves regularly. I want these gacha games to do very well. I really, really do. I still say to this day, I still want Genshin Impact to do really, really well. Will the game do well? Of course it will. It's one of the biggest gacha games of all time. It literally.
I think it is the biggest gacha game of all time, right? Like, it just literally is. Objectively.
Influenced most of the gacha games we play today. However, do I believe the game is dog shit? Yes. Do I want it to improve? Yes. Do I think it will improve? No.
Do I think it will improve? No. I don't know why the way he said that is so funny to me. It's so... Hang on.
Yes. Do I want it to improve? Yes. Do I think it will improve? No.
I think that's so funny. Bro, that's so unintentionally funny. Oh, yes. Yes. No.
The best thing to...
I feel that's how a lot of people think as well. And so many people also feel like this. It's crazy.
Come out of Genshin Impact within the past year was the recent animated short that was like 10 minutes long, talking about the gods of Teyvat. That's some of the best shit that I've ever seen happen within Genshin Impact for a long ass time. I've not wanted to delve anywhere near Genshin Impact and touch Genshin Impact since Arlecchino came out, and that was such a disappointing update. I wanted to throw up in my mouth because everything that we got in that patch we saw in the animated short about Arlecchino. I haven't played the game since I played the desert area, the desert part of Sumeru when Cyno came out. That's the last time I actually really
Bro, I remember playing through Sumeru, and that desert area was so long. It was so big. But you know what? I actually quite liked the jet quest, that the continuing quest that went along with that, weirdly. I actually quite liked some of the world quests in Sumeru. But it's just such a big area. It was massive.
I dove deep into the game of Genshin Impact. Now, I haven't played Fontaine, but I heard Fontaine is the best Genshin Impact has ever been. I've heard people say some part of Natlan is good, but I've seen Natlan's story. I've seen what the game has to offer within Natlan. It looks dog shit. Honkai Star Rail has become a snooze fest to the point where one of the biggest collabs of all time.
Apparently 3.4 is pretty good though. The actual like Feinen is I've heard a lot of people say that 3.4 has actually been the best Honkai Star Rail has ever been. I cannot tell you if that's true or not. I do also want to get through that story at some point, and maybe I can give my feedback then. But I've heard that actually 3.4 is not that bad. It's actually, in fact, pretty good. So, hey, maybe they're turning it around too. We'll see.
One of Gacha's biggest collabs, which had some of the highest amount of potential I've ever seen, flopped. I'm talking about the Honkai Star Rail and Fate collab, by the way. I'm a huge Fate fan, but after seeing what I saw from Honkai Star Rail, I don't want to talk about that because it's shit. The collab was shit. It's boring, snooze fest, dog shit with a 30-second cutscene. That was very good, by the way, but dog shit.
I love the way how this is so brutally honest about how he feels. I think it's so funny.
Waves. Now, Wuthering Waves was a game that I don't think everyone expected to be as big as it was. That's what kickstarted my...
I don't know. I feel a lot of people expected it to not get it out the park. I don't know about that. I think a lot of people thought this is the game. This is the game that's going to put Genshin in the dust, leave it for smoke. Like, I thought a lot of people thought that way.
My content creation career. That's what kickstarted my content creation career. And it got to the point where that community was so humble. You could say, they need to improve this. This is shit. This is bad. They need to really improve this. And people as a community agreed. And people as a community vocalized what they want from the game and what they think the developers should do to improve on the game. It's now got to the point where if you say anything constructive, any sort of constructive criticism or anything that people disagree with in the community, they'll come after you.
Ooh. Oh, I have some thoughts. Do I want to say them? I have some thoughts, and do I want to say them? I do agree with this. Okay. Okay. Here's okay. Say it or no balls. Okay. Okay. This might just be my personal experience. I'm not saying this for the whole of the wooer community, okay? I'm not speaking on behalf of other creators or on the other wooer communities, right? But I felt a lot of times I have made a couple of videos where I have critiqued Kuro in a certain way, and actually my comments like agree with me and are very like respectful. And you know what? Actually, this is like fine. This is a good thing, whatever it may be, and it's very like, you know, makes sense. But there have been a couple of times where I feel like my main point of reference is literally this last patch, where just my thumbnails and titles alone, because perhaps other content creators might not agree with my perspective, I suddenly get a lot of people in my comments saying, no, you're wrong. You know, like sometimes I feel like that happens whereby if different content creators in the wooer space have different opinions on something, then they'll tend to like override, they'll tend to like claim other people's views as their own and then use that in other places. That I've kind of noticed before. That is something I've kind of noticed. But like overall, I've had a number of times where I've criticized Kuro and wooer and people have like been very respectful and agree and everything's fine. But I've also noticed that if like I've made a take on something, which I think is actually equally as reasonable because other content creators might have a different one, I'll see the comments kind of mirror that and like kind of say their exact same talking points, and I'm like, okay, I know where that's coming from, you know, which is, hey, that's just how it is, I guess, right? Like, I guess just how it kind of works.
I'm sorry, we don't hate the game. We want the game to be the best as possible. You know,
it's also just a product of like how communities work over time. The bigger they get and the larger they grow. It's also a product of that too. I'm not saying it's like any particular content creator. It's just how communities fucking work.
Other gacha games as well. I play other gacha games within other gacha communities. I'm talking like, you know, Dragon Ball Legends. I used to play Dragon Ball Legends. I played Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle now. I'm debating getting back into Dragon Ball Legends. But those two communities battle even to this day. Dokkan Battle's animations are better, yeah, but Dragon Ball Legends is combat and gameplay is way better. So Dragon Ball Legends is a better game, yeah, but I prefer Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. To be honest, Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, their animations are unparalleled. It's getting to the point now where it looks like it's from some of the highest budget animators ever. When you play Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle and you activate a character's ultimate, it's got to the point now where it's so ultra HD, it looks like it's straight out of a movie. Dragon Ball Legends is getting to the point now where they're innovating their combat. It's elevating. Like their combat is getting better.
By the way, guys, you should all go subscribe to Amethyst's second channel if you're into Dragon Ball stuff, because like he's been popping off like crazy over there with his reactions. So that what a place to pause on. Holy shit. But yeah,
better and better and better. They're introducing more mechanics. That's better. PvP is still fucking toxic, and their ultra units are still a scam. They're really, really cool, but they're a scam. Their banners are a scam. There's not even a pity system in these games. It's based all on luck.
It's good old Japanese gachas for you. Yeah.
And the pity system they have isn't even a pity system. It's if you spend enough money, you'll be able to get a free copy of the unit. Anyway, I digress. But the point I'm trying to make is Gacha tribalism has been a part of the gacha communities for many, many years, but it's got to the point now where it's got so incredibly toxic you cannot say anything. If you put a foot out of line, if you put a toe out of line, they will come after you. In my opinion, that's what I believe. And unfortunately, a lot of the gacha communities don't get on. The HSR community don't like the Wuthering Waves community. The Wuthering Waves community don't like the Genshin Impact community, and vice versa. The ZZZ community is kind of in its own.
I think it's complicated. I think it's very complicated. I think it's a mix of like CC communities that like certain games that kind of rage bait each other at the same time. I feel there's a lot of people who just enjoy the games that they play. I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm just like, I just want to enjoy what I want to enjoy, but it's just fun to rage bait on Twitter sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I understand. It could just be funny. Sometimes it could just be funny. But like, I think it's a very complicated issue. But it's always existed. So long as there's been multiple gacha games that people enjoy, differences between communities have always been present. You know, it is what it is. I remember there was a time when Honkai Star Rail, like the first year it was out, that community was so nice. Yeah, that community was so nice. And then just the bigger it got and the more that it grew and the longer it was out, it just kind of festered some of the worst people over time. I feel like it's really just a time thing for gachas. The longer it's out, the bigger their communities grow, the more rabid the fan base becomes. It just ends up becoming more insufferable. It's just a ticking time bomb for any popular game. But we'll see how long Uma Musume lasts before it becomes insufferable, you know what I mean? But you know, but I kind of jest, but I feel there's a lot of nuance to it.
Own thing at the moment, to be honest. ZZZ is actually doing pretty well. I actually am a big fan of that game. I don't play the game, but I keep up to date with it, and I've got a lot of friends within that community. And you know what? That's some of the...
How is ZZZ in comparison to Genshin/WoWA? What, in terms of like communities? I feel I was gonna say it as a joke, what community? There's no one left that plays, but that kind of like proves the point, right? Sometimes it's like you can't help but just be a bit silly, right? And talk shit because it could just be just funny, you know what I mean? But I feel like the ZZZ community was also fine for a long time. I think now people are starting to feel more disconnected. If you're someone who plays ZZZ and you watch like ZZZ creators, you'll probably feel there's a lot more of a divide. Why? I mean, we all know. We just have to say the word like miasma, right? And people like shit their pants, you know? Like it's and there's been a couple of like ZZZ content creators that have kind of come out the woodworks whose primary job is to like shit talk other creators. Let's just be honest. We all know there's a number of ZZZ content creators that instead of making content for their own game, they decided the only way that they can get views, right, is by making content about other people. And it's so funny because some of those people would also accuse me of doing the same thing. Oh, you're just a drama slop reactor content creator. And it's like, I literally don't really make videos like that, just going after people, really, ever. But these people, the only time they get views, literally any kind of viewership, is by shitting on other creators. It's so hypocritical. It's insane. So, you know, hey, there are some good ones out there too. Oh no, there is definitely like good ZZZ content creators. I'm just saying, in recent like months, ever since the whole like miasma stuff happened, there've been a number of content creators in the ZZZ space who have now seemed to have dedicate their channels against other creators. Like, just dedicate. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's like the whole audience and community is now a home base for hate rather than a home base for wanting to improve on their own game. And you can see the truth in that when their content about the game doesn't really get any viewership, but their content about other people does, you know? And hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. That just feels like most ZZZ creators. Oh no, I wouldn't say that's fair to say that. I think there's just a couple of them. But it's noticeable because wood gets around, right?
The most humble community I've seen currently. ZZZ isn't the most popular out of all four of these gacha games.
There are several WoWA creators are like that as well. Are there? Name them. Let's play a game. Name them. Do you have balls? Do you have balls? Let's find out. Name them. I'm waiting. Well, I was gonna say Saint. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. But chat already did. I'm gonna kind of tell you why you're wrong on that. Saint, whether or not you like him or dislike him, agree or disagree, does he make content sometimes about other creators? Sure. Does he make negative videos about ZZZ sometimes? Sure. But the one thing that you could guarantee about Saint is all of his content when he's talking about normal gacha stuff or wooer or normal mechanics of a game or guides or how-tos still gets attention. And it's actually it does better than when he talks shit about other gacha games. So this doesn't make sense. I think it's an uncomparable. No matter how you feel about him, this comparison doesn't make sense. Because him literally shitting on miasma or whatever the fuck it is, literally doesn't do better than his other normal content where he's just talking about games and giving commentary, right? But these other ZZZ creators, some of them that have come out the woodworks, the only way they survive or gain viewership is by talking shit about him or like other people. So it's like, I feel like it's non-comparable. So like you can like dislike the way Saint might make content sometimes, but you can't deny that that's not what he's most known for, I feel like, because his normal content still does like better. So I think it's like not the same thing.
But it's doing pretty well. I also just believe that drama's sort of taken over content creation. There's been so much drama the past year that it's kind of hard to focus on the game itself. I grew tired of it, so I sort of stay away from drama. I don't really address drama unless it's about the game itself. Like when I did the Black Beacon videos, some of my most popular videos I've ever created, but that drama specifically was about Black Beacon, because Black Beacon's CN versus global drama was fucking huge, and it really did hurt the game. Now 1.2, their new update, has really made a lot of these improvements to Black Beacon, but I think the damage is done, and I think the game is going to die within the next few months. I don't want it to. I want that game to do very well because it's one of the best built.
No one plays it on global. It literally makes zero money on global. And also last month, CN was down massively too. So like, yeah, it's 07.
Gacha games I've played. It's got one of the best stories in gacha gaming that I've ever fucking played. The writing of that is amazing. The character design is amazing. The animations are amazing. But the developers and the promotional teams let that game down. And they let the community down. I've digressed. I'm so sorry. I've really digressed. But I think one of the biggest reasons.
Fuck that game. Yeah, that game screwed over so many people, bro. It's such a shame.
Overall, to why I believe that the gacha space feels divided is because there's no collabs. There's no gacha cast. People are trying, like Captain Cabinetz.
The glaze. I'm covered like a donut.
Trying to bring the gacha community together, but unfortunately people have either outgrown gacha, stepped away from gacha, or just don't give a shit about it anymore. People are getting bored of gacha. People are getting sick of it. I'm starting to get bored of gacha.
There's a lot of creators as well who are like, I'm kind of tired of gacha like content. I want to do something else. There is a lot of that, and that's fine. Hey, that's fine. Do you know what I'm a fan of? Play the things you want to play. Sometimes, though, if you're a creator, you have to accept that some things are your job. For me, for example, if I were to just stop making wooer content cold turkey, I'm not going to, because I actually enjoy the game and I enjoy playing the game. But if I were to like quit cold turkey, I would be risking like my job, kind of. Right? It would be a very risky thing to do. Sometimes you kind of have to do things and stick with it for a while because you kind of have to, and interweave some other content in there to see if people get excited about that stuff too, right? But it's a lot of creators just kind of want out. They want to do other things. Is that a fault of the drama? Is that a fault of the fact that like, oh, it's only negativity that gets views and I don't want to be negative, so therefore that I'm not going to do that? Sure. There's a lot of people there's a lot of people who are like that. Like, oh, the only way to like make big videos is if you're controversial. That, unfortunately, not trying to whatever, that happens in every content niche. Look at every content niche. Drama in any niche, anywhere, is a thing that always gets views. In anything. In literally anything. Go to any community, any gaming thing. It's always drama and issues that piques people's interest the most. That's just how human nature works, unfortunately. So my response really to that is just make good content. If you want people to, if you want to make a career out of playing games, make good gaming content. That's really what it is. And eventually people will find the niche that you want. But we have to accept that drama and outrage is a thing anywhere. Literally anywhere. That's the thing that'll always get the most views. Any drama anywhere.
I love the gacha games I play, but I'm getting bored of them. And I think it's getting to a point now where if there's not drama about these gacha CCs or the gacha games, there's not really much else going on. Unless it's about a freshly new released patch. Wuthering Waves.
I feel like it's always been like that though. That it always seems to be the most interesting or most entertaining when new patches drop or new areas released. It's like, oh, a big rush. There's a big rush to everything, and then when everything kind of dies down again, it's like, oh, there's nothing really going on. It's always been like that. I remember last year it felt like that too. There was a mega dry patch for gacha for a long time. Like the beginning of the year it peaks and then it goes down, and drama, then everything peaks again and then it goes down, and then drama comes back and then it goes down again. Like it's one of those.
Whenever they release a new patch, people talk about the story because the story is literally peak, pure, amazing cinema, whatever they call it. But like, it's just dry. To me, gacha feels dry now. Itoma has stepped out of gacha. Kazuhana is stepping out of gacha. I'm now stepping out of gacha and focusing more on shonen. I've now got a second channel that's thriving, and that's about Dragon Ball. You know, like I'm doing my best to step away from gacha. Tectone is stepping away from gacha more and more to the point where
all my friends are leaving gacha, bro. Kazuhana, well, my great friends, he's left. Yeah, Itoma's left. Amethyst is leaving. Brax is gone. Techie's going. Fucking, what's happened? What's happened? All my homies are leaving gacha, bro. What am I meant to do? What am I Hi, Ethan.
he's now covering a more brighter...
Ethan's gonna leave gacha. All my friends are leaving. All my friends are leaving.
A broader spectrum of content. I just think that drama this year specifically has really divided the community. Not many collabs are happening. Not many people want to collab in these gacha communities anymore. And I think it's getting to a point now where...
I don't think there was... Can I be honest? I don't think like collabs were ever really a huge thing about gacha gaming or gacha communities or gacha creators. I think gacha creators are wholly antisocial. I do. I think it's always been like that, and it's only been like a couple times where collabs even really ever happened. Even when Techie was like more in this space, the collabs were never really a big thing, like ever. Apart from like podcasts. I think it's always been like that, but just because like he's not around as much, it definitely feels like there's less, for sure. You know? Hail Bran Online, the new #1 gacha creator. Do you know what? Bran is like doing so fucking well recently. He should be so proud because he's doing so good. Yeah, W Bran.
People are doing their own thing. There's nothing wrong with people doing their own thing, but people saying that the gacha community feels divided and doesn't feel as interconnected as it used to, just take a look at the past year to year and a half of gacha. It's been toxic. It's been divided. Not much has happened. Just take a good long look at what's been going on. Now, these are my thoughts and feelings. People can disagree with me in the comments. I'd love to actually, any other content creators within gacha that do disagree with me, please talk to me. I'd love to have a debate with you about this topic because I think it is very interesting. And
I don't want to debate. I'd love a conversation.
But I've got a lot of thoughts and feelings that I want to get off my chest. Now, some of it may not make sense, and I may go over a few things that I've already spoken about, but that's how I sort of explain myself and how I talk about my mind as best as I possibly can. But I love Gacha. I'm never going to stop loving Gacha. But you know, if people are asking why Gacha feels divided and why it doesn't feel as interconnected, either people are growing out of Gacha, drama's killed Gacha, friendships have been broken because of Gacha and because of rage baiting and because of just people being absolute donkeys, or people are trying to do their own thing now and don't really care too much about Gacha as they used to, you know? Like I said, there's amazing content creators in this space that I look up to and that I love and that I adore and that I want to, you know, interact with more. But, you know, it is what it is. Gacha tribalism's a thing now. It's become toxic. The big Gacha CCs that used to do Gacha casts and interact with the community as a whole are too busy doing their own thing now and growing their brand, doing their own thing now.
Again, I'll say again, I don't think it's healthy that a whole niche has to rely on one big creator to make it work. I don't think that's a good thing. And I think it's actually, in a way, a test for the space to be like, okay, like I said before, what's going to fill that void? And we have the opportunity to fill that void with the things that people want to see. So I think it's good that this gives an opportunity for other creators to kind of come up and you know, make more of a name for themselves and fill this void, you know, of content and audience looking for certain things. So I actually think it's good. I think it's good for the space to have more competition and more creators and more choices and more option. That's why I love doing stuff with other creators too. Because for me, if another person succeeds in the gacha space, I think it's a win for everybody in the space because it's new people coming in. A win for one is a kind of a win for all in this space. It's already a niche. So anyone who brings in more people to the space overall, I think is a huge W. And that's why I'm a big fan of a bunch of new creators coming in and making content. I think it's great.
Touch Gacha again because people like Tectone do still come back to Gacha and do talk about Gacha and does still touch on these things, and I have seen him still do Gacha casts from time to time, just nowhere near as much as he used to. Captain Cabinetz, as I said
Third glaze. I'm about to come. Sorry.
Earlier in the video, she has done many podcasts this year that has brought other content creators together. Captain Cabinetz, if anything, has done a lot for the community.
I'm gonna cry.
She's gonna do well in this space. You know.
I hate getting compliments. I feel so uncomfortable when I get compliments.
I don't really have anything else to say. I just wanted to talk about my pure feelings about this. If anyone disagrees with me, let me know down below in the comments. But I believe the main reasons to why Gacha is dying and Gacha feels divided and Gacha feels disconnected and not as interconnected. Gacha tribalism, drama within the Gacha space. The big Gacha creators aren't making things happen within the Gacha space as much as they used to because they're doing their own things, which is completely fine. And I just think people are tired and bored of Gacha because Gacha is becoming a little bit drier, a little bit stale. There's other Gacha games coming out later this year. You've got Arknights, Enfield, you've got Silver Palace, you've got other Gacha, you know, NTE, Ananta. All these other Gacha games are coming out, which could bring about a new age of Gacha content creators. But I just think at the moment,
I feel really hot right now. I feel so embarrassed.
It'll heal itself. The Gacha space will heal, and it'll come back together again. It's just going to take some time, and people need to be patient.
Yeah, there'll be loads of games coming out. It's gonna be great.
If you're asking the questions, why does the Gacha space feel divided? Just look at the backlog of Gacha over the past year to year and a half. Look at the Gacha space. Look at the Gacha CCs. Look at everything that's been going on. The drama.
Amethyst named them no balls. That's what I wish. You know what, Amethyst? Yeah. Do you know what would have made this a great fucking video? You should have ended this coming out fucking swinging. Fuck it. Like, there should have been like, all these people, you fuckheads, you ruined the space. Fuck you, I'm out. Back to my second channel that's doing like so much better than Gacha anyway. You should have just been like, all you people, yeah, fuck you. You should have taken a massive fucking shit on it and then fucking went to your second fucking channel, bro. Bro, that would have been so, that would have been so funny. You. Piss off. I'm doing my own shit, bro. That would have been such a power move. I ain't gonna lie. That would have been so funny.
You know? But anyway.
I kind of like the writings of the walls. Like the Gacha, like drama ruined Gacha space. Bro ends this video with starting drama and then dips. So fucking funny. Bro, imagine fucking starting like another channel. You come to this one, you start off drama, you say the most mad shit about everybody. You fucking leave to your other channel and you never engage with this drama that you just started. You fucking leave it there, go do your other stuff, and that's it. Bro, what a fucking power move. Bro, what a power move that would be. Holy shit.
Wait. Hopefully this video has helped put in.
Bro's way too nice though. Bro is way too kind. He's way too kind.
Is not as interconnected and divided. I know I'm not the best at explaining things. I stutter. I can go over a few of my points I've already made, but that's because it's how I explain things best. People don't like it. People don't have to like it. Some people like it. Some people enjoy me yapping and rambling about these serious topics. You guys let me know down below and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Yippee! I'll speak to you all in the next video. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.
Based. I really like that video. It's been a while since I reacted to an Amethyst video. Yeah, I just saw this on my homepage and I was like, you know what? This might be a really good talking point and talking topic. So that's really good, guys. Make sure you go and here we go. Here's the video. You go and watch the video. You like it. You subscribe. Make sure you go like, comment. Say, ew, all this Cabinetz glaze is so shit. I hate her. She's the worst CC. And I guarantee you all your comments are going to get like 100 likes each, you know, because people hate me, but that's fine. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really like that. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Twitch.tv/Captain Cabinetz, Captain Cabinetz.